Today, we're going to talk about a phrase you've definitely heard, one that sounds like a warm hug but can sometimes feel like, well, an offer you can't refuse. I'm talking about the whole we're a family here thing at work. We're going to pull back the curtain on this work-family myth. Now, this is the core idea right here. And look, this isn't about being cold or, standoffish at work. It's really about drawing lines that protect your own well-being. So let's break down why accepting this isn't just okay. It's actually pretty liberating.
You've heard it, right? In meetings, on company posters, the idea that your workplace is basically your second family. It's a super common story, but it's one that really, really needs a closer look.
And let's be fair, the intention behind this is often pretty good. This kind of language is meant to build a connection, create some trust, and give everyone a sense of belonging. And I mean, on the surface, who wouldn't want that? This is where it gets messy. What happens when that warm, fuzzy idea of a work family starts to feel less like a support system and a lot more like an obligation? This is that exact moment where good intentions can sour into something else entirely. Yeah, it becomes an emotional trap. The second we start blurring the lines between a professional agreement and a family bond, we kind of open the door to all sorts of confusion, guilt, and frankly, some really unrealistic demands. Okay, so this slide just cuts right to the chase. In a family, belonging is unconditional. You don't get fired from your family for missing a target. But your job? Well, it's conditional by its very definition. It's based on your performance, on KPIs, on the company's bottom line. The two models just fundamentally don't mix. And this is exactly how that family talk can get toxic. It's what makes you feel guilty for logging off at 5 p.m. It turns a totally necessary performance review into something that feels like a personal betrayal. I mean, just think about it for a sec. Could you give your brother a formal critique on his work or lay off your cousin after a tough quarter? The whole metaphor just completely falls apart under any real pressure. So, this leads us straight into what you could call the loyalty paradox. What starts out as a message of unity can so easily turn into a tool for emotional blackmail, whether it's on purpose or not. It often starts with your time. That family label becomes the perfect tool to blur the line between being a dedicated professional and having a personal obligation. It pressures you to just give a little more of your time, a little more of your energy, and then it moves to money. Perfectly normal, healthy conversations about your salary suddenly get shut down. All of a sudden, asking for what you're worth is twisted into some kind of selfish act that's going to hurt the family. And here's the final trap: loyalty. It's used to make you feel guilty about your own career growth. Thinking about a new opportunity isn't seen as a smart career move anymore. It's framed as an act of betrayal. And that's just how powerful this whole emotional paradox can be. So, if the whole work-family thing is a trap, what's the alternative? Well, the good news is there are much healthier ways to think about this. Let's explore a better framework for how we can all relate to each other at work. It really all starts with this: professional respect. This is the foundation. It's the simple idea that you can support, trust, and work really well with people just because you respect their skills and what they bring to the table. You don't need to wrap it up and call it affection. Building on top of that, you get the idea of a work community. I actually really like this one. It says, yeah, human relationships are super important and we should take care of them, but we do it without ever losing sight of our clear professional goals. It's about being humane, not familial. And maybe the most powerful model of all is a team with a purpose. See, in this model, commitment isn't built on empty slogans from a poster. It's created from real clarity, a mission you all share, and genuine empathy for the challenges everyone's facing. Now, that's what creates real teamwork. So how do we actually build this healthier environment? It's not just on the bosses, Everyone really has a part to play in shifting the culture away from that old family myth. So how do you actually do it? Well, it starts with being crystal clear from day one that you're a professional team, all working toward the same goals. From there, you can build genuine support that's based on respect, not on some fake family tie. This naturally helps you respect people's limits, so those strong bonds aren't used as an excuse to demand more and more. And it all leads to the right kind of motivation. one that comes from a shared purpose, not from emotional manipulation. So, here's the big takeaway. It's not just okay that your job isn't your family, it's actually way healthier. The best places to work are safe, for sure, but they're also realistic. Real respect and empathy don't need to be disguised as a family bond to be powerful. In fact, they're probably stronger without it. And that brings us to a final question for you to think about. At your company, when they say, "We're a family," do you really feel it? Or does it feel more like an unspoken pressure? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.